On today's video, we'll look at a scenario in which China has a civil war. And while suspiciously, democratic capitalist rebels rise up in the south. This definitely doesn't have any aid from the CIA or the Mossad. Definitely not. Definitely not supported by either. And definitely not supported by Taiwan. And definitely not going to commit war crimes like Japan. Yes, Japan, you've committed so many war crimes. I don't know. Does being an island make you angry or something? With the democratic rebels taking more land. With India supporting them just to spite China. With them quickly taking over an occupation in the south. You might be wondering what comes next. Yes, fascist rebels. So realistic. With them rising over here. And over here. And over here as they quickly start occupying more land. And they connect the front together into one united front. With communist China thinking they can easily wipe this out. But do you think they thought Tibet would revolt now? Well, guess what? Their favorite nation, Tibet, revolts. Definitely their favorite thing. This is supported by India. Yes. You might think it can't get any worse. What they support against China. Well, no, they also support Xinjiang. Now, Pakistan, I think you need to give up that area. East Turkestan and Xinjiang, yep. With them rising up over here, with support of Kazakhstan, probably. Doubt it, but let's just say Kazakhstan also supports it. And all the stand nations, because they want another stand nation, I guess. Well, stand nations are pretty chill. Well, at this moment, Mongolia invades, yes. They invade into not East Turkestan, into Inner Mongolia. With them advancing here. And advancing over here. And they even advance into the fascist rebels' land. Well, with the USA officially supporting the democratic forces along with most of Europe and Canada and most of South America, except that this evil nation, this evil nation, this evil nation, and this evil nation. Yes, the four evil American nations. And well, the fall of Manchuria happens. You may say, is this Japan or Korea? No. It's, believe it or not, the most peaceful nation. Russia. Most peaceful. They really want peace. And then they invade even further. Yes, you want peace. Okay. Yeah, nobody trusts that. Well, maybe somebody does, but honestly, it's not trustable. With Russia pretending not to be the remnants of the Soviet Union, pretend to be a world power, while they flop up like a paper tiger. Just tell me, how does one make that many mistakes? Okay, not as bad as when I was playing Hearts of Iron 4 one time. I was winning against Manchuria because they declared independence. But evil Germany and evil Italy was like, no, he can't have fun. Yeah, Hoi 4 is mean. Well, it's not as mean as dummy nations. Like, you think you're winning, and then everybody declares war on you. Yes, war on you. It's definitely made to be like that, with getting forces here. And having taken over most of the region. With the region completely falling, and Russia asking Mongolia to leave some lands. Well, Russia is an occupation zone now. And Mongolia also has an occupation zone. And at this point, Tibetan rebels manage to march towards taking back what they claim, with them deciding a bit more is okay. Now, this being Tibet, you might say, well, what else could they want? Yes, do this. Then they decide to do this. And then do this. East Turkestan isn't very happy. So they do the same thing with the Indian rebels, with India supporting them. They quickly manage to take lands over. And at this point, they go and move towards the fascist rebels and take off to here, with the fascist rebels having a big movement. Them having a big victory. With the democratic rebels moving to less populated areas to take a few wins, and they take over the island. Because they know it's easier to take this over, so they quickly move into Yunnan regions. And up they move, meeting with fascist rebels and whatsoever. So let's see the nations as a civil war is really full swing. Basically manages to get out. And they kick Mongolia out of these lands, and then they declare independence. They leave the war. Will they be able to stay out? Depends. Tibet also leaves the war. The fascist rebels being the most hated rebel group. Almost every side wants to get rid of them. And then for the democratic side, they need win, and they want Taiwan to join the war. They can't get that yet. So without warning, they start seizing the fascist lands. They move as fast as they can. And then beating the communists in. And not long after, Mongolia launches a second offensive, which goes even into these lands. And then they move down along Russian forces, with communist forces rapidly crossing, with them meeting up here. And I'm thinking they were going to have an easier victory. Yes, this happens. A curveball is sent at them, as they didn't get the most of these lands, with them struggling to keep them enforced as they're dealing with Mongolia. With their forces starting to get pushed back, with them getting pushed back out of this territory, with them getting attacked there. As the democratic forces start moving up the coast and seizing a few cities, and managing to link up to here, and then they push this area to the coast. With communist forces starting to push back Mongolia from Inner Mongolia, as they push them out of their occupied lands, and then start pushing them back. The reason they're doing this is so they can start a distraction over here and take back their territory, which they already declared re-annexation of. With China needing a victory with the People's Republic, they quickly move in to Mongolia with the goal of taking Ulaanbaatar. With them succeeding, Mongolia collapses. Just like that, they have had a big victory, and their victory isn't stopping here, as they move south a bit over here. But a big surprise happened when Taiwan sent its military in. This was seen as a major step of aggression, as they were struck really badly by China's weapons. Really fast, too. And I'm crossing from over here, as they are rapidly losing. The people upset because they basically let Russia bully them around. With them moving into these lands. With the battle starting as they start withdrawing from here. And them starting to invade into Mongolia to liberate it. With them moving in and managing to liberate it. With it quickly joining their side. As they were forced and puppeted, basically. With the forces coming out of here. With Russian forces not wanting the communist forces to fall, they changed their plan. As they started advancing towards Beijing, they quickly take it over to keep it out of the hands. As if rhinos are collapsing. And them coming in from the south and rapidly advancing towards Shanghai and taking it over. And then they take over many major cities. With Russia trying to deter them, they move deeper in. With the victory of these forces being all but guaranteed. With Taiwan joining this nation. With a stalemate breaking out in this front, they start targeting Mongolia. Yes, they're at war with Russia. As they take Ulaanbaatar back, as their goal is to bring back the People's Republic of China. Them crossing in, with their occupation zone greatly increasing. As they have a big breakthrough up here in the north. But what they couldn't predict was what was going to happen next. Which was an invasion from this direction. The recreation of China. And well, yep, they move across like this. And then they move up here. With Russia having a great humiliation. To keep these countries out, they promise them independence. Yes, independence. Definitely not trying to plan something with the help of the CIA. Oh wait, the CIA isn't involved in this. They're working with Mossad. No, they're actually not involved in this. Or are they? On paper, they're not. With them taking Ulaanbaatar again. Yes, Ulaanbaatar keeps falling. It's like the fourth time it's fallen. Mongolia is not having a fun time. With Russia panicking and withdrawing from here. Why, you may ask? Because they didn't have much of a choice. If they didn't, they'd probably get encircled. Well, they start getting pushed back more in this region. With this, they withdraw to the gates of Beijing. As they are rapidly wiped out of there. With their positions becoming weaker as they manage to move all the way to here. And then they use this to get them to withdraw or seize lands as they move into outer Mongolia. Outer Manchuria, I think. As they take Vladivostok. And well, then they move into the rest of the occupied zone as it collapses. with them unexpectedly annexing Mongolia. And a meeting with Russia for peace, in which they basically don't withdraw. They leave forces up there and they annex some of it. They only want to annex to there. Oh, finally, they only annex to here. And well, they move in to occupy right to here. With Russia humiliated. But I mean, they get humiliated all the time. With India and the Republic of China, with India trying to make diplomatic relations, there is no chance of this, as they decide to invade Tibet and Xinjiang, claiming they're terrorist states, basically. As they enter through here, as they rapidly move in, with them rapidly taking these lands over, and then moving in from the north into Xinjiang. They manage to take it back. They're in a lot of trouble with the Western nations, with war with India looking inevitable. Well, that's pretty much all for today's video. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Wild Mapper out, but not until you subscribe. Bye, guys, and I hope you enjoyed today's video.